Okay, today's day 4, and I'm gonna make a menu screen to play from, and then let's have the game play. You lose your lives, you go back to the menu screen, and then you have to go back and forth. So I renamed this level 1, and I saved the scene to the scenes folders. Then I'm gonna take the same scene, and I'm gonna save it as, in the scenes folder, main menu. Okay, so now I'm looking at the main menu version. So on the main menu, I'm not gonna be doing spawning of enemies with pools or the player. So I'm going to get rid of these things. And I'm going to look at the screen from the game view so I could kind of make the title. Under Level Controller Canvas, I'm going to add a new Text Mesh Pro. And then I'll call it the title, Space Game 01. And you may notice that it kind of wrapped around itself. That's because of the width of the box is only 200. But if I increase the width, you'll see that the name fits on the same line. I could take away text lives, delete. Maybe for text score, I'll be showing the high score. And then space game, the text, let's see, this is here, they're going to be the text title. And we're going to increase the font size from 36 to something like a title screen. And then we're going to have to do this again with the width to get the whole thing to fit on one line. And let's move it up a little. It's kind of be up here in the title area. And then I'm going to add 2 buttons, play and quit. So here, right click Canvas, UI, button from a Text Mesh Pro. And this one is a button control. So there's the image of the button, and inside the image of the button, there's the text. So let's call this button play. And then the inside object, let's call it text play. And we're going to change the word for text play to play. And if we think the font's too small, we can increase the font size. But there's another way to do this better. I'm going to go to the button. I can increase the width of the button and the height of the button. And then I just want the words to fill in. And I think there's something here for that, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe it's on the text object. Auto size. Bam. So that the text fits. And then we can make another button. I'll just duplicate the button play. I'll move it down. And this will be button quit. First I'll rename the button and the text. And now let's change the text to quit. And we have to hook up the buttons to something. We have to hook up the buttons to some code. I'm going to make a script, a level controller script. I'll call it main menu. Okay, so on the main menu script, which I'm going to put on my level controller, I'm going to double click to edit the script. And in it, let me gut this out and let me put in 2 commands for buttons. 1 public void play game and 1 public void quit game. Now this is the scene manager, and the scene manager required Unity Engine scene management. Now let's show you how to hook up these functions to the buttons. So I'll go to the first button, play, and then it's here in the button thing, is it? Yeah. On click, and right now when you click it, there is nothing that's going to be done, but I'm going to add something that's going to get done. The things that is going to get done are here on the level controller game object. So I'm going to drag the level controller game object here, and then I could check a function from the main menu class. And there it is, play game. Then the same thing with quit. I'm going to go to button quit, and the list is empty. I'm going to add, I'm going to drag the game object from the scene, and then I'm going to pick the function, quit game. And that's how these buttons will call those functions. So now if I press play, and I'm on this scene of the main menu, then I press play, it goes ahead to the level 1. There's something else about the game when I make multiple scenes. I have to go here to File, Build Profiles, okay? And in Build Profiles, I could add the different scenes that are going to be in my game. In Build Profiles, I'll also be able to pick the target for what I want to build the game for Windows, for the web, and all these other things. Let's make some music. I want to, get some music from Looperman, and then it has music here. So I downloaded some music. So for the main menu, let's have it play some music. Let's do it the same way I've done it in the other scripts where you specify it with a file name. So public string music file. And I think it's going to have it be Jester part 1. Then public audio source aud music equals null right here. But then in the start, I will load the audio source. So in previous video, I made a function that loads audio sources, globals.create audio source. I have to give it the game object I want to load the audio source to, which is this .game object, and the reference to the audio source is aud music, and then the file, music file. Okay, give it those 3 things, and it'll create an audio source on the game object. Now I just have to play it, aud music.play. So now when I press start on the main menu, I should hear music. And then the sound may be a little bit too loud, so I can say aud music dot Then I could lower it to like 0.5, half the volume. Alright, so we got music for our mean. Now let's do something on the level. Nothing makes a game feel better than some music. So here on this level controller, let me make a level 1 script, create model behavior script, level controller. Okay, so I make a level controller script. I'm going to drag it on level controller in my level 1 level controller. Now I'm going to go edit it by double clicking on it and tear out the guts. So let's see. Let's load some music. So in the start, we could do the globals dot create audio source, and it's going to need a game object, which is this dot game object. It's going to need an audio source, so it'll be odd music, which I'll make in a moment. And it needs to be a reference to it. And it needs the name of the file. So music file, public string music file. I think it's going to equal, let's see, in the resources folder I put the music. So I have Jester. Let's see what Jester 1 sounds like. That's on the main menu. Jester 2. And Jester 3. Alright, so I think I'll use Jester 2. So Jester part 2. And then I'll have public audio source odd music. Actually, that doesn't have to be public because I'm going to define it inside here, so it can be private. Odd music. And then in the start of the level, then I'll actually play it. So I'll be like odd music dot play, and then I'll make the volume odd music dot key. So let's play this game like if we're coming from the main menu. Let me go back to the main menu. Let me save this first, and then in the scenes, let me go back to the main menu. I'll start it from here. Press play. Okay, let's play the game. Oh, so you notice the music's not looping. That's okay. So here on the level controller script, I set the volume, and then I'll also say to make it loop. Odd music dot loop equals true. So music should loop. So that means also in the main menu, odd music dot loop equals true. And I think I'll make it even lower than 0.5. I'll make it like 0.35. Let's try it again from the main menu. La 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 la. Here we go. Press play. Play. It's too easy. I can't be killed. I'm just like the best. I'm the greatest. So I think on the main menu, I got the music. On the main menu, I'm also going to put a difficulty. Right, so here's the main menu. Level controller has a canvas in it. I got these controls. Let's see what kind of control I could add for UI that I could specify, like the level. It could be a drop down. Let's do a drop down. Boom. There it is. Let's move it down. And I can't read it. It's too little. Okay, so here I press label, which is the text mask GUI object. And then auto size is right there. Now, how do I make the choices? Let's see, here's the drop down control. Oh, here up here to be the options. So easy, normal, and hard. I wonder how that looks when I press play. Let's see. Yeah, here is my globals script, the values that exist throughout all scripts of the game, globals. And I had the score and the lives, and probably, oops, my mouse, I just threw it. Probably could have like public static int high score. And then the other value I'm going to have is the public static difficulty level. This will be an int. Here, easy is default. I think I could set the value to 1 for that to be the default. Instead, bam, there's another function, set difficulty. And I'm gonna have to know what the object is. I'm gonna have to set the read the difficulty from. So it's called dropdown. I'm gonna rename this DDL difficulty. DDL is like an abbreviation in programming for drop-down list, usually. So, what kind of object is a DDL difficulty? I don't know. Okay, so it's a TMP drop-down. It's gonna be my DDL difficulty. Null. Doesn't know what this is. Let me put the mouse over it and show potential fixes using TMPro. In Unity, has the main menu script on. I'm on main menu here. It wants to know what the DDL difficulty is, so there you go, DDL difficulty. And this is going to go from this, so that doesn't even have to be public, that could be private. There. So it knows what DDL difficulty is. So over here, globals dot difficulty level equals DDL difficulty dot value. Okay, that's okay. So let's see if this happens. I'm going to put a breakpoint here and attach to Unity. Then I'm going to run it. Run! Run! Run, Joe, run! So that's normal. And then easy and hard. So nothing happened. Why nothing happened? Because I'm going to have to attach an event. So I'm going to add, and it's going to look at the level controller game object, and it's going to look at the main menu scripts function for set difficulty. Now I'll press play. And I'll switch it to hard. And it comes here. So the options go from 0, 1, and 2. The options go from 0, 1, and 2. So let me just put that note in there. The options are 0, 1, and 2. 2 is hard. So this kind of works. It comes in here and sets this. Then in the enemy spawner I'm going to spawn more enemies if the difficulty is higher. So the min spawn time and the max spawn time. Min spawn time and the max spawn time. Go to definition. And here's the spawner. While true, wait. How long do you wait? How long do you wait before you spawn more enemies? So you got this time that you're gonna wait. Well, I just do this. Let's do switch. Globals that difficulty level. Case if it's a 0, and then break. Case if it's a 1, then break. Case if it's a 2, then break. Min spawn time equals 0.1, and the max spawn time equals, what does it equal here? Because this is easy, 1.2f. And if it's 1 and it's playing it normal, let's make it a little bit harder. So 0.1 to 0.5. And then if it's hard, let's make it crazy. 0.1 to 0.3. 0.1 will be 0.065. I don't know. We'll see what happens. So easy is the same thing. Normal is going to be harder. Play. Oh yeah, look, there's way more. Still can't get me. Oh! And then, one life to go. Okay, after the last life, then I'm gonna want to go ahead and go back to the main menu. So let's do that. That'll be on the player game object. When I get hit on collision enter, boom. So here, update lives. If globals.lives equals 0, then we're gonna die for good. I don't know if I call it die for good, right? So then down here, let me do a thing for die for good. Here's triggered. Let me outline collapse the definitions. And let me just add that right here. Private void die for good. So what I'm probably going to want to do is call die for good, and then it's going to die, but I want to let the O sound finish playing at least, right? There's that sound. So I want to give it a moment before you actually die. Every time I want to give something time to happen, then I usually use start coroutine, There are no coroutines here in the player, so this will be the first one. So I'll be like start coroutine, and then the die for good, and the time will be, let's just say, how long is the O sound? Odd player hit dot clip dot length. So die for good has to turn into a coroutine, so this has to be an IEnumerator. And it's not a void. IEnumerator. That needs something. It probably needs the system collections. And die for good needs to take in time, or the delay. Let's call it the delay. So with the delay, we're going to do a wait. This is the delay time. So it's going to hold on this line until that amount of time. And then after that, now we have to quit this level and go to the other level. The level to load is main menu. Ta-da! So let's see what happens if I get to 0 and then I come to the main menu. And let's see what it looks like at hard, too. Oh! There, it kind of comes here. Alright, so everything's kind of rough when it did it. I mean, usually a game doesn't jump like that. There'll be some other sounds, but that's what we got going so far tonight. And I'm a little tired. I got something important to do tomorrow. So we'll talk again tomorrow.